Cartoon hands are tricky to draw. When drawing cartoon hands, you don't draw all 5 fingers. Imagine Mickey Mouse with very detailed human hands. Whenever you can, you should try to draw the fingers unevenly to prevent monotony. To draw a hand, start by drawing a hand like a mitten. Once you have the basic mitten shape, you're going to divide it in half. Lastly, you should put that little finger in there, doing something funky to try to give it a sense of shape. In this lesson, we're going to draw 4 different positions for cartoon hands. Let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a basic circle shape to start out. And I'm going to draw just a rectangular shape coming in here, 2 lines to make the wrist. I'm going to make a mitten shape of just a curve. That's going to be the fingers, and that's going to be just as wide as the circle is. I'm going to draw a basic little thumb shape coming out of the top, basically just a little curvy egg. Sorry you can't see that in this video. Now I'm going to separate that finger part directly in half, and I'm going to draw another oblong finger shape coming off this bottom of the hand, covering those other 2 fingers to give it a sense of dimension. I'm going to draw this back part of the glove. You know, Mickey Mouse, for example, always likes to wear gloves. He's kind of a neat freak. And then the process from here is just going over my lines and choosing my lines. Notice this area behind the thumb should be accentuated. You want to make it a larger block to show that there's a bone structure underneath there. I'm curving out the top of my thumb, curving the thumb into the fingers because there's that web of skin between your thumb and your fingers. And then I'm curving all my lines, trying to make these as smooth as possible. I have a tendency to overcomplicate my cartoons, so don't be like Mr. McHan. Try to make your form simplified. I'm drawing these curved lines, trying to smooth them out, darken them. I'm erasing my construction lines, just like we do in every other kind of thing. Notice, like I said in the intro, there's only 3 fingers. It's become standard for cartoons to have 3 fingers. It makes more sense with the simplification of the forms and the bubbly nature of their body structures. So 3 fingers is what you need. Notice I have this finger, the pinky goes in front of the other 2 fingers. It gives it a sense that there's some dimension there. It's a nice little pose. Gets you an idea in this one how to construct a hand, generally speaking, using that circle and these little oval fingers. Smoothing that out. At some points I'm thinking, oh, maybe this finger's too long, and so I just erase the parts that I don't like and I fix them so that I like them. Clean it up, clean it up, clean it up. Smooth out that glove. Make that wrist all nice and complete. And now I'm gonna come in here and add some shading. So my light source is coming from the upper right, so I'm gonna block in the darker side and just finger blend it to give it an even middle gray tone. I'm gonna throw in the core shadow after the fact. Put in the gray first, so you just have 2 tones, light and shadow, then put in that core shadow and blend that out too. I'm doing that with all of these. Looking good. All of these hands I did today took me about 18 minutes to do. So hopefully that's kind of where you guys are aiming for. Once again, I do the separate light and dark, and then I put that core shadow in there and I blend it in. Alright, great. That's hand number 1. Now hand number 2. How do you draw a hand where the fingers are spread? So same starting, I start with a circle, draw that wrist, and then I draw a big kind of like web duck footy kind of shape. And I break that into individual fingers just by throwing in ovals. Draw a little oval for the thumb coming off the top. I start connecting the forms with a smooth line that goes around. That looks nice. And I do that all the way around to make it all seem like it's one cohesive shape, this hand. Draw the little line in there. This is the palm of the hand. So you have the fleshy, meaty part underneath the thumb that's represented by just that single curved line. Then just like before, I go through and I smooth out those lines. And I erase all my construction lines. Just cleaning up, smoothing out the lines. Changing any kind of proportions that don't seem right to me. For example, I shorten the index finger. Create some calligraphy line, thicken out the edges of curves, make the straighter lines thinner. Now I'm adding my shading the same way as before, even using my dirty finger to kind of put in some gray tones without having to lay down extra graphite. Nice. There's drawing number 2. Drawing number 3, back of the hand. So similar thing. Draw the circle, draw the little mitten part, throw in that thumb. Looks nice. Now I'm going to divide that mitten into the 3 individual fingers. Notice I extended the middle finger up a bit to give it a more realistic proportion. Even though there's only 3 fingers, you still have a longer middle finger or a shorter index finger. This is representing real life, so a lot of these proportions we take from real life, but we just simplify them and exaggerate them. That's what cartooning is all about. Now I'm going to put that glove in there. I'm using what I know about perspective and drawing forms. It's looking at a cylinder from below, so it creates that elliptical connection there. Make sure it looks like it goes around the wrist. I put the gloves on the back, the glove lines. I assume that's what gloves look like back in them days. Then I clean up my lines, erase all my construction lines. And I put in some shadow. Seeing my light's coming from the upper right. I separate everything into light and dark, just adding a dark side and a light side. Finger blend it all. Very systematic. And then I add in those core shadows after the fact. Give it a little pop. More contrast. A little bit more realism. Alright, last one, drawing the fist. So with this one we start with the circle again, and we connect the wrist to it. But this time around, we're just putting this little, kind of like Smurf hat. You guys know what Smurfs are. It's like someone's wearing a mitten again, like a boxing glove. It's coming over, you're drawing this boxing glove, very easy, creating a sense that it's folding over by just putting this curve that's overlapping. You have the thumb coming down from the top, giving a little calligraphy line. I'm cleaning up as I go here. I'm on a roll. This is hand number 4. Practice makes perfect. I'm going to draw the individual fingers here. So I need to divide it into 3. I draw those 3 little curves overlapping. And oh my goodness, this was the easiest one. It's 3 little fingers coming over there. Our cartoon characters got his little fist clenched. So angry. Nice. Now same thing, light source. Add a light side and a dark side to all your forms. These are kind of spheres in a way. Start with 1 gray tone. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to add that core shadow. Give it the sense that there's some realism going on with the lighting. That's pro. Good time to practice this stuff too. Alright, so there you have it. You should have 4 drawings of hands. One with the pinky up, one with the fingers spread, one from the back of the hand, and then this fist. I look forward to seeing what you guys have. See you next time.